Maybe that's a little better. Yeah. A good morning. Oh, come on. Give me the linky link. There it is. Hey, that's rude. Who did that? Who did it? Who did that? There's one dislike on the live stream already. I'm ashamed. All right. What up, Andrew? Jorgie, I don't know if this is going to be as fun as the Fortnite streaming. Fortnite streaming, beaming. That right there. Good. I mean, they took enough time to go to the notification of the live stream and then quick little dislike. So appreciate their efforts. Like. You in the office again today? What oil slicks are we looking at? Oil slick mongoose. What up, Andrew? Brandon, good morning. Good morning, sir, on the West Coast. One of these days I'll see you playing World of Warcraft. I actually have to finish this stream and go wrap some presents before the kids get home, and then we'll be all set for Christmas outside of, like, got to go get the food. We're doing steaks on Christmas Day. No standard Christmas meal. We're doing steaks and baked potatoes, which I would highly, highly suggest you do the same. Yeah, I like the mongoose a lot too. Each time I pick it up, I forget. It kind of reminds me of how much I enjoy it. It's for some reason it doesn't stand out as one of my favorites until I start tossing it. And like, this is a good yo-yo. That's a good yo-yo right there. Beef, like a beef Wellington? What kind of beef are you having? Like a roast? I am not exactly sure if I'm going to go low and slow and then sear them at the end, or go with the reverse sear and sear them and then put them on the smoker at like 225. I kind of like the idea of the sear and then smoke. Depends on what cut we get a little bit too, on how thick they are. A good before noon, Mr. Jessup. Well, I mean, so us Americans, we're big on the beef, but so it really is a beef is so many things. But I figured you were having a roast. What's the Kenji method? Is that the reverse sear? Or is that the low and slow and then sear? And then sometimes I just go with the old, put them on the grill at like 450 and just cook it that way. The hard part is when you're cooking for multiple people, I'm not going to cook them all well done. I'm going to cook them all medium, except for anybody that says they wanted it well done. Reverse sear. I do like the reverse sears. We last year my wife spent too much time cooking all these different things for a whole big Christmas lunch, dinner, and she spent too much time doing that than enjoying the kids on Christmas. So she wanted to do something easy. So I said I'd do steaks. Steaks are pretty easy. Baked potatoes, we toss them in the oven. Steaks, I'll marinate probably the night before, pull them out, give them to room temp, and then hit them on the grill. And I think we'll probably do some green beans too, maybe grilled green beans. Maybe I'll put those in the cast iron skillet. With the Sioux, I don't know how to actually say that. Are you bringing it up to temp and then searing, correct? Alright, so instead of assembling all of these right off the rip, I'm going to go with the half by half testing. And I think Among Us, I don't know, maybe. Not that. For some reason, I think the mongoose might be 8 mil. Yeah, mongoose is 8 mil. It's got that flat hub. Anybody got some 8mm? What did I do with them? Got all my containers here except the 8 mil. Here it is. Okay. What's up, Alex? Brandon, I have done that before, and it doesn't work. So we just test them all. You bring yours up to temp, put it in the bag. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I don't have one of those. I've heard people do them, talked about them. Mr. Wiggs has talked about it. Any update on the Jackal? What's up, Colin? Jackal. No, not really. I have to redesign the responsive version, so I have not done that yet. And unresponsive version is on my list of parts I've ordered, raws, but I don't have the raws back yet to even start getting those to the anodizer. So we're still a little bit away. So I guess that is an update though. But yeah, Jackal, I did finalize the unresponsive version. All right, 1 for 1. The rescue I did not start to design yesterday. I've got some design time penciled in tomorrow, I plan, if it works out. Because I got to do the Spartan spin. We're going to give that a new bearing. Anytime, Colin. And so I'm going to try and design the Spartan spin and the rescue tomorrow. Money in a brown paper bag. That works. You got my address. Cash is king. Perfect. Okay. 1 for 1. Do you do a lot of chicken in it or pork? I could also tell my wife that we could do some pork loins for dinner tomorrow. Christmas party tomorrow. You want a camera close up? I don't know how the lighting is today, but or if this is a good half, but we'll show it to you. The lighting's kind of off, but you can definitely see the oil slickiness. Oil slicks will be on the website. Without a date, time, or warning. So that won't be one of them because that one has some vibe. What up, Chris? So they're all different. So if you're comparing to the reverse Rainbow Road, the oil slick is a splash and speckle. Reverse Rainbow Road is just the splash. And then like Kaleidoscope is just speckle. That might be the bearing issue. Yeah, I don't want the site to die. I'll have a Patreon lottery on something exclusive here soon. Um, but just the site makes things a lot easier and gives everybody a shot at some of them. The lottery is a lot more back end work. So I've got, usually I have my headset on, but it needs a charge. We were playing some Fortnite earlier. So I've got it on my webcam mic. How does it sound? A little tinny, probably? Tinny. Do you like hearing the sound of the yo-yo, though? Or is it annoying? Yeah, we're in a workshop. This is the G2HQ office. It's not a perfect setup for a studio. Don't you hate when that happens? Well, we got some yo-yo sounds today, whether you like it or not. I wonder if you can pick up that vibe on the fingernail. Two. Okay, we're going open half. You guys got to remind me of that. Ooh. Missed. They can build you a top-notch studio. Have them do a bump out edition. That would be ideal. I do need some more space for the studio. I really need an office. But this does not support the need for a out office somewhere. Would be sweet though. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled about the Cyber Monday sale. Um, it'll all come down to how much you guys like the loadout. I told him everybody had just gotten a Wraith. You gotta wait. We can't just do it 3 days later, but I wasn't here. was the new competitive yo-yo you did the pre-order for? The Wraith is going to be a competitive yo-yo. The loadout Ron did a couple days later when I was out of town. It's a mono. Exactly. He can't be running the place. Problem is he does good work overall, even though he calls off a lot, and he doesn't ask for raises. Don't give him any ideas. Ty Pelly will be here after testing. I will be able to find out if there's any extras. So that'll probably be my project next week is titanium Pellies. Yeah, I'm really excited for both of those. Wraith or loadout Wall Proto is going to be here for me to test and confirm. The Wraith had an issue with the ring fitment, so they were fixing that for that proto. And then I'll be able to test that one as well to approve. I just noticed that one of my G2s, that the anode around where the bearing sits is not present, so they're worried that that may fuse. It's not colored, so it's not raw, but it just wasn't colored. Depending on the anodizer, sometimes that part doesn't. Depending on what he's doing, the way it's on the rack, the color won't hit in there, but the masking will. It's still all getting anodized and sealed. Hopefully that helps make sense. Like, I don't know if you can see this. Like come on. See how the color doesn't hit once in this middle section? So the masking still got in there, but the color didn't get placed in there, but it's still anodized and sealed. It's just the base layer. Yeah, this is the spot. I mean, this is, usually I can describe things a lot better or discuss things a lot better here than through text. Text is not my specialty, as many of you know. Closed end. I want to make sure I update the website today so I'm not pulling anything down before the listing. Well, I appreciate you stopping in. You guys are entertaining me as much as I'm entertaining you. I would usually be watching like a golf YouTube video or a podcast while I'm doing this type of stuff. Yo-yo content is hard. That was indicator. Are we talking about my word writing abilities? This one's struggling. I haven't watched the latest Bob Does Sports. Kind of got burnt out a little bit. I would not be hitting refresh yet. I would probably not be hitting refresh today. No, removing the listings ahead of the drop. Yeah, I will be removing the listings. Not at the time of the drop this time. Yeah, you're definitely not going to make money from yo-yo content. The only way to transfer that into money is to basically, you're providing the content for free, and if you can entertain people, you're not going to make money specifically from your content. The only money you could make is down the road if you get a signature yo-yo or something like that where you're going to get royalties, or whatever, make your own merch. That's also not cringy yo-yo, but you're not going to make a lot of money from that either. So yo-yo content to build a fan base and then have a signature yo-yo is the way that you can monetize content. But it takes a long time, and there's only a handful of people that have been able to convert on that. So far, I'm having a really tough time with this one, but we've got 7 that have passed QC so far. And then with your signature yo-yo too, you got to make sure if you're getting to the point where you're making content and you have a decent following, and your following is going to be the reason you sell yo-yos, you definitely should be getting royalties for your signature. Do you think that you were putting out content, you think people bought the Primate because of you, Tyler? Or do you think that it was just you got to design, be part of the design process and give them an idea, but it wasn't necessarily, were you generating the sales? So it's hard to get royalties from something if you're not actually generating any of the sales. At that point it comes down to you got to help design the yo-yo, so that was kind of your payment. Did I Twitch Prime sub correctly? Alex, I don't know because I only get notifications of the Twitch Primes when I'm live. And you Twitch Prime then. It gives a little notification and we celebrate and take our clothes off and put sensors bars on. How many total to test? I did 24 parts. So the most we could have was 12 yo-yos, just like the reverse Rainbow Road Afterlives. So the anodizer that does these, this is a small shop. His rack holds 4 parts. So he's got, I think, he might be able to do 30 parts at the same time for me, not dunked all at the same time, anodizing, but set up on racks, 30 of them. I think some of them are like 3 because they have broken axles or something. So 24 is an easy number. When I give him a full colorway to hit, that 24 is kind of the standard. Hey, if you do 24 or something, I'll give you a different price than the customs price per part. But the reverse rainbow road and these are all same price as customs. So I could do 4 if I wanted to, just 4 parts, because it's going to cost me the same as doing a custom. Actually, I take that all back, because I tried to do that, and these can't be part of the customs because the price is double the customs unless I do the batch. So yes, I take that all back. Because I was going to do some sets. So like a 3-pack oil slick set, which I still could have done. I could have done 24 of each, but I didn't want to do that many yo-yos at one time, just because of the cost of the anodizing on these. These are the same shop as the customs. So really, whenever he's kind of has room for me to do a regular run, I do a regular run. Otherwise, I try to keep him busy with my time slots with customs, because I think that's one of the coolest things you guys can get right now is customs. I couldn't say, honestly, Jake big-headed me say, yeah, the amount of work I put in, I mean, it's my fault. I told him to just put it in to sending me more yo-yos. I don't know that there's a way to actually know how many yo-yos were sold because it has your name on it, right? So like the Agent series, the guys on my team, they don't get a royalty for those. They get to help design it, and then I adjust the design. Just you can make a good yo-yo kind of easily, but over time and anything, you gain experience and know what to change. So we kind of do a little balance there. It's like 75% of what they want, and then 25% of what I know is going to make a yo-yo better. And then it's limited to just the Patreons. So it's they don't get royalties on those. They get to participate in the design process and get yo-yos. But if it was a public release and they had different content that could lead to sales that were not going to be sold anyways, then we'd have the royalty most likely attached somehow. So like Guy Wright, I know the Encore is selling because it has Guy's Wright name on it, and to get him to participate in that, he needed royalties for each sale. Maybe. I offered him royalties as the opening pitch. Maybe he didn't want royalties. Maybe he just wanted the yo-yo. No, you can't. I don't allow the rainbow roads on the customs. One, because it's a pretty specialty color, and two, because I think you might have missed it. On the customs price, it's double the price of the customs for color customs. So that's when I backtracked. I forgot that point. The Nebula I can do at the same price as the customs if I want. These ones are double the price of customs unless I do the full racks. So it's twofold. It's the pricing that I can't allow it for customs. Even, yes, I could offer it at the upcharge, but it's kind of a specialty colorway that I'm keeping as just a G2 exclusive. What's the deciding factor? I don't think there's one deciding factor. How many I think are going to sell, and then how many I want to release, because I don't like doing overly large drops. I've found that your QC drops as you increase your production. So if I had to assemble and test 50 yo-yos for this drop, the QC is probably going to drop a little bit, and it becomes just overly a job. And if you work for yourself, you don't want it to be like like my old job. I hated my job. If I'm running 50 yo-yos that I got to drop every single week, do the same thing over and over and over, I'm not going to like that, and it's not going to work out. I'd rather just, it's easier paycheck in the cube than this doing 50 yo-yos every single week. So it's kind of a combo. How many do I think can sell? How many do I want to do in that batch? How many do I want to set up for that drop? And how much rack space is available? Can you do oil slick on a black yo-yo? Yeah, I can do oil slicks on any color. So like we had the kaleidoscope, which is just the same thing, but just speckles on black. Exclusiveness mixed with the risk versus reward on not losing cash due to quality control issue. I don't think so. Like the exclusiveness isn't a big factor outside of like these. I like these to be more exclusive. It's kind of just like there's a line you want to find. It's always better for me to sell more yo-yos. It's a business. You want to sell more yo-yos. If you have a release and you could have sold double what you did, that's bad business. It leaves half of your customers mad. That gives them a bad feeling about your brand, and you left all of those sales on the table. You do want some that are going to be exclusive, so that there's a collecting aspect on the business side. You do want to have that level where you have base colors and then maybe some more exclusive colors. But for me, a lot of it is just, I don't want to do 50 of the same thing all the time. I don't know how to describe it. I don't want it to be work. I like variety. I don't know that it's still not a one factor. It's kind of just something that happened over time. I'm hoping this year to have an available yo-yo most of the time. I would like it to be available all the time, but then you also want it to be selling. But I want to create a mono that is kind of used as the benchmark for a lot of people's first, or a standard, you need to have this in your collection yo-yo, right? Which I have some of those that probably fall in that category. I just don't have enough produced, so it can't hit a full range. So it's hard to say, hey, everybody needs an encore when there's only 75 encores out there, so it can't fall into that category. But if I can create something that I can have 500 of them out there over time, then that's something that can start to fall into the category of this should be in everybody's collection. Availability needs to be available to get that classification on one of your designs. So like the Ghost, I hope will fall into that category, but I'd like to get aluminum that falls into that category as well. These mongooses are going to hit the shop. I have those the swirls we showed over on the Patreon AMA yesterday. Those will be the next lottery, I think. I like to have a swirl on deck for a rainy day, so That's the last one I have. I'd like to get another batch in before we sell some more. So this is part of that QC issue of why I wouldn't want to do 50. Just because over time of testing these, I'm going to let maybe something that I normally wouldn't let if I'm only testing for an hour and a half through. But if I've been testing for 4 hours, I might let something slip through that probably shouldn't have. Would you ever make the Banshee your always in stock for the first G2? I don't know. It makes the most sense because that probably is the flagship name associated with G2. But I would kind of like to get something else. But it definitely could be, you know what I mean? It could be, the Banshee could be a shutter. You know what I mean? It's just a constant evolving piece, constantly available. And it's kind of its own brand. So it makes a lot of sense. It's just, do I want to kind of do that? Okay, let's see. Open end. Like if Chevy had an everyday available Corvette, does that hurt the past Corvettes? Probably. So that's kind of what I feel like with the Banshee. Like if Chevy had, instead of like whatever having the Cobalt, they turned the Corvette from their premium offering into a budget line. Thanks for the questions. I think we're coming away with one glitch. Uno glitch. I'm going to run through these again just to double check. See, this bearing's kind of whining. It wasn't whining when I tested. So I don't know the perfect way to have that rotating. I almost think that it's something that I would be like mass production could cut the cost a ton, so it wouldn't be $100 bimetal. I could get it down to whatever, a 65 or a $100 mono would be like I could get down to $65 if I ran 100 black ones. But I think the way that I operate, I'd rather keep it. Yeah, it's going to be more expensive than other options, but just set it up so I've got a whole array of colors slowly rolling through, whatever, restocking weekly. And it's always limited to 10. There's 10 black, 10 silver, 10 clear, 10 blue, 10 navy, 10 light purple, 10 dark purple, and they're always rolling through. 10 Wolverine, 10 Hulk, 10, 10, 10. Every time something drops, it's a different color, and there's only 10 of them. So it's a constant stream of yo-yos coming. That fits me more than I have this new flagship. It's always available. It should be everybody's first premium experience. Black and silver and blue, they're always in stock because I ran 250 of each of them. And yep, that cut $35 off of the price. I don't know if I like that as much. It gets it into a lot more hands because the price tag changed, but it's not something that I like. So that's tough. So it's kind of like how Jeffrey made his own other brands, so that he has his premium titanium brand, and then his aluminum one he just orders. They're already test assembled, boxed, everything, and shipped to him, ready to be listed and sold. There's no touching of the parts, just photo, sell, and that's his budget brand, right? So that's a very, very smart way to do it. But I don't know. I have multiple shops, Jorgie. One in the States, I guess 3 overseas now. It just depends. Oil slicks will be in that 175, 165 category. Who is your muse? What's a muse? More chances to snag one with the, if I just made 250 black power up, I don't know, overshields, I don't know what the name would be. The G5 Banshee, yep. Shutter Banshee, Banshee Shutter. Hopefully those kind of help you understand where I come from on my side and how I like to run my business. I don't know. Hopefully it's interesting to you. I like business stuff. More chances to snag one since there was only one bad QC. Okay. Muse is inspiration. Jorgie, I'm your inspiration. You're part of that Ray beef from way back. I made a colorway from him on a Triton, and then you copied it on your Siggy. So who's your inspiration? Why is it me? That started to get loud, didn't it? Roast beef. Can't tell if this bearing's gonna crap out or not. No, he told me you sent him a picture of my Triton that I had him anodize. He said this. This thing's close. I don't think so. I think on the full swing there, it's got a little hint. And you don't want a little hint on your oil slick. That one's fine. Let's do some half swaps here. Is this the best yo-yo shirt logo? It's just clean and cool. No, I know that's not how it happened. I was just being funny, not funny. I regret a lot of things I did back then too. I regret a lot of things I did last year, this year. We all live and learn. I like it because you don't know it's yo-yo, right? So you can enjoy it wherever, whenever, and it's not so cringy. Maybe I'm just weird because it's all I wear is yo-yo shirts, right? So I don't want them all to say like a picture of a guy yo-yoing. I mean, you probably want one on occasion that's a picture of a guy yo-yoing, but The reason I'm still signed up for shirts is they don't scream yo-yo. I gotta get you a black shirt, my man. Beanies for November, if anybody was wondering. Beanies and tie. None of my G2 shirts look like yo-yo shirts to the uneducated, and I like that. Now see? I appreciate that. It resonates with a couple of you. Can we see the tie? You cannot see the tie because it's not here. Tie's on a bit of a rush. I needed the money from that prior to Thanksgiving sale to complete the tie order. I like the tan hat, but see, I need a co-host. This will be a fantastic episode for the podcast I don't have. Ranking, tiering the G2 logos. You know what I mean? I don't drop anybody off the face of the earth. But I think as we age, you realize that, I don't know, people have bad days, people have bad patches. I'm also a douche, so, you know, could be me, not you. Yeah, but I need somebody else to be on it, right, Brandon? It can't be me ranking my own logos. I can host and say the inspiration behind the logo or what little direction I gave Ryan when creating the logo. Because oftentimes I'll have like very little design inspiration for him, and I let him roll. And so then he'll send me like 5 or 6 rough ideas, and then I'll usually pick one from there and he'll polish it out. If you were to do a full tier list of all the classic bangers, Peak, Dark Magic, Dropner, Why Wet, Project One, those kind of yo-yos would be super fun. But do I sound like a hater? Do I put nostalgia in it, or like there's only one good yo-yo on that list? Do I have records of all the logos? No. Sometimes if I need an old logo, Ryan's got to send me it. Okay, so nothing works with this half. That's part of my record keeping. So I need to get the new PC set ordered so it can run smoother. I just found out my Mac's 9 years old. That's why I was having issues with some things. And then Oakland broke the screen on the other one, and that's $600, so I kind of would rather put $600 into the new machine. Woo! Alright, all that testing paid off. We took one that had a little hint of vibe out, fixed it. I think I just need to go. yeah, content is hard. So for WoW content creators, they will rank boss raids based on what the boss they are in the raid. Can't compare the first easy boss to the end boss, for example. So they compare the first bosses to the other ones. So I could compare the peak to the other yo-yos of the peak's day. That would be enjoyable, and that's also something though that I think need a co-host so you can have that back and forth. I don't think I'm entertaining enough to have that full video just be me. Okay, there's the one glitch. We got 11 A grades, guys. That's a good day. 11 A grades on the oil slick, so 11 out of 12 pass QC. Oil slick mongooses now available in the G2 store. Psych. Yeah, I agree with that. Got to have a couple. I do want to showcase these, just because these are some of the customs I have here, and I love them. I love both of these. This, we've got that blue-green acid wash base, purple splash, black speckle. Oh, yeah. Love that one. And then this one turned out really cool. This is a cool idea. Gray base, black speckles, the yellow sponge rim, and then they went with the just some straight splash just in the catch zone. He has some supercars he sent over that are in this colorway theme idea. Not sure what he called it, but I thought these really turned out sharp too. But I really like that blue-green. Which one do you like, Alex? With the delay, I'm not sure which one. Sorry. I'm a little more partial to the blue-green one because I picked it out for the person. The blue-green wash, purple black. I'm going to go wrap Christmas presents now that I'm done with the oil slicks. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the chat. Anytime we're live, bring those questions. I like to answer them. I like talking business or whatever.